You trace your finger on the edge of his glass, picking up tiny crystals of sugar before popping it into your mouth. Sure. Spicy. Are we talking about drinks? I don't know. Are we? Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir du Vide, and today I'd like to play a demo from the developer who made Sweet Dreams and Missing called There's Something Wrong with My Blind Date. Tuesday. It's raining. The rain feels nice. The sharp droplets of water make you feel grounded in your body. The roads are empty, night creeping into the city. Despite your protests, the nurses had to shoo you out, with visiting hours having been over. You try not to talk about the hospital behind you. You try to ignore the image of your mom in that small white room, the smell of disinfectant, and the coughing of other patients in the ward. She's always been your hero. She taught you to be kind. She taught you to be strong. She raised you on her own, and told you how proud she was to call you her daughter. It hurts to see her in that room, hooked up to all sorts of tubes and IV drips, her skin bruised from the needles. As usual, you had paid her a visit, and as usual, she gave you a reassuring smile, telling you that everything will be all right. You try to ignore what the doctor told you. Stage D heart failure. 1 year left, maybe less. You think about your mom again. She's lost weight. Her eyes look sunken, the wrinkles on her face more prominent. Has your hero always looked this small? You look up at the sky. I should get out of the rain. There's something wrong with my blind date. Location, Glass Lounge Bar. Ooh.
Alors après...
Hey. Hey.
Alors après...
Who is speaking to me?
Alors après...
Stop! A bell chimes as you open the door, announcing your arrival.
Après...
Welcome to the Glass Lounge. Oh, it's you. Missed me? Are you a robot? You walk on over to the bar, taking a seat in front of CO2. Espoir? You're dripping water all over my floor. Sorry. Sorry. You turn to see the trail of rainwater left in your wake. Oh, shoot. Sorry, buddy. I didn't even realize. You grab a napkin and toss it on top of the man-made puddle, but the cheap material simply disintegrates into soggy, smaller pieces. That didn't help, did it? No. These napkins suck, and while I'm at it, your toilet paper is probably the worst thing I've ever used to wipe my cheeks with. It feels like literal sandpaper. Management's been cutting corners. Not much I can do about it. Maybe you should... Achoo! Oh no, did you catch a head cold? Head cold? You hastily wipe at your face. The android blinks. You can hear the sound of its motors whirring as it focuses its lenses onto you. My scanners are detecting a drop in your body temperature. Nothing a few rounds of alcohol won't fix. Isn't that the opposite of what alcohol does? I don't know. I don't drink. Fixing your problems and forgetting about them are two vastly different things. Counterpoint, forgetting is easier. We'll see how easy it is when you wake up in the dumpster behind the 24/7 diner on 7th Street with your wallet gone and your right shoe missing. Oddly specific. People tell me things. Your memory scares me sometimes, but I guess that's why you make the best drinks. Flattery will get you nowhere. Not even a discount? No. Ooh. You shake your head, and a few droplets of water fly in different directions. The bartender seems unamused, as usual. You wonder if its burnt-out attitude is a result of its programming, or if it's just jaded from being stuck working at a bar for the past 2 decades. Say, what's new as of late? Got any cool new stories to tell? That depends. What would you like to know? Any rumors going around? Heard any rumors? Bad ones. See, now you've got me curious. What is it? There are rumors of a human trafficking ring going on within this city. People have been going missing for a while now, but the police haven't been able to gain any major leads. They suspect that it's the work of a serial killer, but the intelligence analyst that frequents this bar says otherwise. Why's that? Serial killers tend to target a specific profile and leave behind a modus operandi of sorts. The victims, however, don't exactly share any similarities with one another. The age, gender, race, background, and physical features are all over the place. If the crime scene characteristics don't match up, it makes it difficult for them to find any patterns in the disappearances. That being said, the police are unsure if it really is human trafficking. They lack the data to research anything conclusive, and the whole serial killer theory is merely a rumor started by the people as a result of slow investigation. That's scary. I'm kind of regretting asking now. Be cautious when walking out in the streets alone after dark. I'd recommend traveling in groups of at least 2 or more. Good idea. You sigh, stretching your arms up into the air. Man, I was hoping this would cheer me up, but I don't think that really helped. I admit, I'm not equipped to assist you with your personal problems. You think at this point they'd come up with some sort of emotional support software for you guys. Androids have no need for emotions. That would pose a security risk. I sometimes forget that you're not a real person. I kind of see you as a buddy. The android shakes its head. Don't mistake what we have as friendship. Human connections do not mean much to me. Fortunately for both of us, I'm not the only one in your life. The bartender glances behind you. You have a good support network, Espoir, and people who really care for you. You should make the most of it. Speaking of which, here comes one now. Puppy. Espoir? Ah! Adorable! Espoir! Hi! Pups, what a coincidence! What are you doing here? I just finished up at the lab. Professor Joy held us up to go over some of our findings. Anyway, I was on my way home when the rain started to really pour. I didn't bring an umbrella with me, and the bar was nearby, so I thought I'd come in here to wait out the worst of the storm. Guess the weather caught us both off guard, huh? Somebody should fire the rain guy. The meteorologist? You can meteorolize fists. Better watch out, weather boy. You're paying for my dry cleaning. Anyway, sit. Grab a drink with me. Might as well, since you're already here, right? On a Tuesday night? Espoir, I have classes tomorrow morning. Aw, come on, pups, loosen up. But he doesn't seem to be budging. Perhaps you'll have to resort to using that. Use that. Desperate times call for desperate measures. You clasp your hands together and put on your best pleading look. Puppy, please, I don't want to drink alone. Extreme puppy dog eyes. You can see his resolve crumbling in real time. He's always had a soft spot for you. Oh. Okay. Just one then. He moseys on over to you, only to pause mid-step above the puddle of water still pooled underneath your seat. I forgot about that. From your peripheral vision, you can see CO2 grab a mop. Espoir, you're soaked. How long were you outside? A while. Do you have a change of clothes on you? Or something to dry yourself off with? I didn't really bring my bag out with me today. Aw, jeez. He zips open his backpack, digging through his notebooks and papers. Espoir, you need to be more careful with your health. prolonged exposure to the cold will negatively affect your immune system, increasing your risk of catching a cold or flu virus. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I'll be fine, pups. You know what they say, idiots can't catch colds. You're not an idiot, though. You pinch at his cheeks endearingly. Whatever you say. You sniffle, your nose runny. Guess the combination of cold weather and wet fabric got to you in the end after all. We should still get you dried off a bit, Espoir. Puppy, still digging through his backpack, finally procures a white towel. He knows what to do. He knows to not panic and to always bring a towel. Found it. It's clean, in case you were worried about that. You scrunch your face up. Seriously, pups, I'm fine. Sneezes again. And why do you just carry around a towel with you? Why don't you carry around a towel with you? Have you forgotten the immortal words of Towelly? It's convenient. I use it as a pillow sometimes when I need to sneak in some sleep between classes. That's not weird, is it? I don't know. What do you think, bartender? Very odd. Why not just bring a pillow at that point? I mean, towels could be used for other stuff too. Like dipping it in chloroform to knock people out? No, I meant like using it as a picnic blanket. Nothing but excuses. We've got him cornered now, Detective Espoir. Indeed, chloroform kidnapper, your evil deeds end here and now. You guys do know that the application of chloroform via inhalation is a lot more different than just dipping a towel in it and holding it over someone's mouth, right? Normally I would be suspicious on why he knows so much about that. But I think he just knows that. What? Is that supposed to be common knowledge? No, pretty sure only a killer of the serial variety would know that. Guys, I'm not a serial killer. We're just messing with you, pups. Puppy sighs, draping the towel over your head. Let him do it. Thank you, Puppy. You sit back and relax, letting Puppy take the reins. He's careful not to hurt you, cautiously combing through any particularly stubborn knots as he methodically parts your hair to dry off every section. Aww. It reminds you of the old days, when you used to play together in the park after school. You know, I used to be the one cleaning up after you. Guess our roles have reversed, huh? Puppy hums. Seeing as how my messes were mud trails, dirt tracks, and the occasional wild animal, I'd say you got the short end of the stick. True, you used to drive my mom crazy with all the weird bugs you'd bring into the house. I may or may not have gotten, a little over-eager in sharing my insect collection with you. He runs his fingers through your hair, gently massaging your scalp. It feels comfortable. Physical touch isn't a new concept between the two of you. Growing up, you often hugged or held hands, and have even on more than one occasion shared the same bed. Oh! But things have been different as of late, a slight shift in your dynamic with one another. A softer tone, a softer voice, the weird, unbearable feeling in your chest. Does he notice it too? You don't bring it up. You don't want to bring it up. It feels like something you'd ruin if you looked it in the face. And dunzo. He sets the towel down on the table, clearly pleased with his handiwork. Feeling a little more comfortable now that your head is dry, you give Puppy a big thumbs up. Thanks, pups. I didn't want to use the napkins here. Me neither. It feels like... Sandpaper? Sandpaper. The two of you share a conspiratory giggle. By the way, I didn't get to ask, but is that a new sweater? I won it at the trivia booth at the local snail convention. You know what? There probably is a snail convention. Snail convention? Yeah, SnailCon. There probably is actually a SnailCon. I mean, snails are pretty interesting. There's a joke to be had here. Do it. Snail con my nuts. I don't get it. Bro is absolutely flabbergasted. CO2, having finished mopping up your puddle, returns to its post behind the bar. You two seem close. Well, we're practically attached at the hip. Him and I have been tight since elementary. You grab onto Puppy's arm for emphasis. He smiles in return. How did you two even meet? Aside from the fact that you attend the same school together, I do not have too much information on your history with one another. You strike a dramatic pose in response. It can't be helped. There's a lot you don't know about me. I'm really just a dark and mysterious individual. I find it hard to consider you dark and mysterious when I've seen you hunched over the bathroom stall throwing up from alcohol poisoning. The lighting's bad in those restrooms. Maybe you just mistook me for someone else. No, you're here so often that the image of your sad, pathetic form is practically burnt into my memory card. You turn to Puppy for help, but he shrugs half-heartedly. You do frequent this place, probably, more often than you should be. Traitor! Anyway, do you want to know the story of how me and Pups met? Trying to change the subject? Definitely trying to change the subject. Ooh-wee, I think it was 7, 8 years old? I was playing at the old park near the sea, the one with the hills leading down towards the shore. It feels like a hazy snapshot or a fading image. The nostalgia makes you smile. I think I was picking dandelions. I thought they looked pretty and I wanted to bring something nice back for my mom. It was a simpler time. Your mom hadn't been diagnosed yet. You shake away the thought. And as I'm picking these dandelions, making little flower crowns, I hear someone yell in the distance. It happened in a flash. I see the sky, then I'm falling backwards, tumbling through the grass. Next thing I know, there's this sharp stabbing pain in my ankle, and a crying boy in my arms. Turns out somebody, not naming names, completely neglected to check his surroundings while trying to catch a ladybug, and crashed right into me. Lady beetle, actually. They're beetles, not bugs. Ladybug is a misleading term because they're not really a bug. Real bugs, true bugs, are insects from the Hemiptera order. Instead, lady beetles belong to the Coleoptera order,
Coleoptera,
which typically have an elytra that distinguishes Pupillidae. The story? Huh? Oh, right. I was chasing after a lady beetle that had landed on me and flown away. And, I got a little bit too excited up in the chase and ended up colliding into Espoir. Basically, we both fell down a hill. I sprained my ankle, and he fractured his arm trying to break the fall. They sent us to the ER together. Aww. We were in there for a while, and the whole time Puppy wouldn't stop crying. I think he was more worried about my ankle than his arm. I guess he was just scared I'd never be able to walk again. Oh. Now that I think about it, you made me a promise back then, didn't you? His face flushes red. Looks like he still remembers. What was it again? I don't know. He definitely knows. I think you said, I'll take responsibility for you. Little Pups thought he had to become my permanent caretaker. My, how bold. Hey, it was serious, okay? If you were hurt. Looking at him now, you found his reaction cute. Cute. Huh? I said you're cute, silly. Puppy looks away, face red. Thank you. You're welcome. Anyway, we somehow ended up inseparable by the time we came out of that ER. And, well, you wrap an arm around Puppy's shoulder, pulling him in for a side hug. We've been best friends ever since. A missed opportunity. You could have sued for personal injury. Huh? Aw, don't pick on the poor guy. He was just excited to show off cool bugs, beetles, to his friends. And plus, we wouldn't have met if he didn't crash land into me, so all's well that ends well. You both ended up in the ER. 2 bodily injuries for a chance meeting seems hefty to me. Honestly, a broken bone was a small price to pay for me to meet Espoir. I'd happily break more if it meant I could be friends with her again in another life. He gives you a genuine smile. You'll always be my first pick. Aww. I am appreciative of you. Puppy's awkward at times, but he's always been straightforward and honest about his fondness for you. It's one of the many things you like about him. You can't help but to return his smile. And you're my first pick too. But no more broken bones. I'd prefer having you around in one piece. Speaking of that park, though, I wonder what happened to it. Is it still there? No, I was in the area once and stopped by. They completely demolished it. There's a large commercial building standing in its place now. Oh, that's a little sad. Yeah, I miss it too. That hill was special to me. You turn to face CO2, who looks almost amused. Can robots even feel amused? What? Nothing. Just an observation. Now, are you two ready to order, or am I going to have to peacefully escort you off the premises? Puppy doesn't even miss a beat. 1 agape's devotion for me, with extra strawberries and the sugary rim. The usual, then. And you, Espoir? Let's see. Agape's devotion, Pragma's tenacity, Mania's infatuation. I kind of want to try that Agape's devotion. That sounds good. You glance at the menu. Ooh, that looks nice. Is that a little bit of mint in it? Ooh. It's a strawberry cocktail, garnished with a dark green mint. Ooh. You smile to yourself. The leafy green of the mint reminds you of someone's hair. Aww. Same thing as Puppy. He bumps your shoulder lightly. Awesome sauce. CO2 seems less enthused. 2 cavity bombs coming right up. Is it really sweet? Even better. Is that a real drink? Kinda want to try that. You watch in silence as the android begins to measure out the portions of your drinks with extreme precision. It's almost mesmerizing. Puppy gives you a small tug on your sleeve, breaking your concentration. Espoir? What's up? Tomorrow, after you're done with classes, are you free? Sure, why? It depends. Why? Oh, just to hang out. I want to check out that new commercial building you mentioned, the one where the park once was. And you don't have to decide now. Just let me know by tomorrow. Sure, but what's with the sudden interest? I'm curious about it. And, you seem kind of down. I thought maybe it'd help you cheer up. How can you tell? I thought I was acting pretty normally today. It's just a feeling. He's always been oddly perceptive of your emotional state. Aw. Is it about your mom? Or maybe he's just an esper. You sigh, resting your face against the cool surface of the bar. Yes, I went to visit her today. Did her condition worsen? Stage D. Puppy goes silent, well aware of the implications of those words. He's been studying pharmaceutical sciences for a few years now, and it is even the subject of him and his team's research work. To think that the little boy who wanted nothing more than to have the world's largest insect collection was now working to create medicine that would help others. You pause. Hey, wait, you've always wanted to be an entomologist, didn't you? Study bugs, follow in your parents' footsteps in zoology? I did. Then why'd you switch to a track in medical chemistry? I mean, clearly you're smart enough to pursue entomology, and it's something you're still passionate about, so why didn't you? You know why. You know exactly why. Well, I do like entomology, and it would have been nice as a career choice too, but... He tilts his head to look at you. I found something else that I wanted more. Even more than an insect collection? Puppy giggles. Way, way more. Sorry to interrupt, but your drinks are ready. You straighten out in your seat as CO2 sets your agape's devotion in front of you. Or is it agape? Ooh, looks good. Thanks, old bot. You're welcome. You two enjoy yourselves. Ring me up if you need anything else. With that, the bartender gives you an indiscernible, almost smug look before dissing behind an employees-only door. It's just you and Puppy now. He looks at the sugar on the rim of his glass before taking a tentative sip of his drink. That sounds yummy. Good. CO2 pretty much has my preferences down to a T. What are your preferences anyway? Huh? Let's ask normally for now. For drinks. Oh, well, I like sweet things. But not artificial sweet. More like, fruity sweet. Natural sweet? Oh, I get that. I feel like artificially sweetened things tend to leave a weird aftertaste. Yeah. It might be because of the sweetener used. Saccharin and acylfame K possess an intrinsic lingering bitter aftertaste, which increases with higher concentrations. I have no idea what any of that means, but I concur. You pick up your own glass, admiring the intricate work that went behind layering the liquids inside. Then, tentatively, you take a sip. Puppy has good taste. The cocktail is both sweet and refreshing, the addition of strawberries contributing to a bit of tartness with the overall flavor. You smile. This drink really does remind you of Pups, a dorky sweetheart who's always uplifting your mood. Pups is precious and his smile must be protected. Puppy downs the rest of his drink and wipes his mouth with a napkin. Then he fidgets around for a moment, something clearly on his mind. I want to give him a gentle push. What's up, sweetheart? Something up, Pups? Sort of. I just need to think about how I should word it. He tugs lightly on his stray strand of hair, a nervous habit of his. Oh. I got it. You're probably the strongest person I know, Espoir. You always face your hardships head-on without any complaints. And, well, I really look up to you for that. I think it's an admirable strength. But, whenever you're feeling down, you tend to hide it from other people. Even if you're really, really struggling, you still go about your day with a smile, as if nothing is wrong. He peers at your face, gauging your expression. I know I'm not the best person to talk about this kind of stuff with, but I've been around you long enough to know when you're really hurting. So, it's fine for you to be sad. I'd never judge you for it, and it won't make me think any less of you if you do. He tugs at his stray strand of hair again. I know there's not much I can do to help, but I'm here for you. For anything, if you need it. Oh, sweet Pupillidae. Wait, is that actually his name? Aww. What did you do to ever deserve him? Ask for a hug. You reach out for a hug, and Puppy immediately wraps his arms around you. It's an instant comfort. He's soft. He's warm. He smells like the morning dew and fresh laundry. When's the last time someone's hugged you like this? You can't even remember. You hate crying in public. It makes you feel weak, like you're inconveniencing those around you. But with Puppy, it's different. Somehow you feel like everything will be okay. He rubs at your back reassuringly as you bury your face into his scarf. It's not fair. I haven't even gotten to repay her. You already did. I don't want to lose her. I know. I deserve to have my mom. You do. You stay there for a while, letting all your bottled-up emotions run free. Puppy continues patting you on the back in smooth, gentle motions. It's comfortable here, so comfortable that you never want to leave. But all good things must come to an end. The robot who is the bartender is gonna kick us out. Finally, you pull away, wiping at your tear-stricken face with your hands. Thank you. I needed that. He nods solemnly. I just wish there was more I could do for you. He pauses for a moment, seemingly dealing with some inner conflict. I'll work harder. Hey, you do plenty for me already. Who else would lend me a towel in my most dire hour of need? Puppy pouts unhappily. A serial killer, apparently. Aw, Pups, are you still mad about that? It was just a joke. Puppy, come on. Okay, forgiven. Thank you. You sigh, leaning back in your chair. I gotta say, first my mom, then this sudden storm. I feel like my life's been nothing but a series of bad luck recently. Maybe someone cursed me, looked at me the wrong way, has a voodoo doll with my name on it. Whatever it is, I hope it passes soon. I'm just so tired of it all. Wait, I've got it. He fumbles with his scarf for a moment, before presenting to you with something shiny. Here, you can have this. Aww. The pin's colors are a bit faded and chipped from years of wear, but it's clean. He's been taking good care of it. You've never seen Puppy go a day without this trinket, so it comes as a surprise that he's offering up something so precious to you now. They say lady beetles can grant you a wish. I know it's not a real one, but maybe the magic's still there. I didn't really take you for the superstitious type, being a STEM kid and all. Here. There are some things in this world that science just can't explain. Thank you. I will carry a piece of you with me at all times. You pick up the pin from his hands and carefully hook it onto your own shirt. Thoughts? Super awesome sauce. This is so childish. What's next? Don't tell me you two still believe in Santa Claus. You turn your face to your uninvited guest. Pretty! Louise Lu? Oh, good, so your eyes do work. Louise Lu, your friend? Your enemy? You're not quite sure. She has the presence of a tornado, entering and exiting people's lives on her own whims, without much regard for the destructive path she leaves behind. Jeez. Pups? Yeah? This thing was supposed to bring me good luck, right? Well, there's no actual correlation between lady beetles and an increased statistical probability in good fortune. Are you sure you didn't just curse me instead? I don't think so. Louise crosses her legs in response, not fazed in the slightest by your obvious displeasure at her appearance. Do you even know how long I've been sitting here? No? 10 minutes. I've been sitting here for 10 minutes waiting for either of you to take notice. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it was for me to watch you two flirt with each other? Just thinking about it makes me want to throw up. You know, you could have just said hi. I didn't want to interrupt your little moment. She's still pretty, though. She impatiently taps her finger on the bar's countertop, clearly irritated. You're not quite sure what's gotten her so riled up. She's usually cool and composed. Something must have really ticked her off. Hi, Louise. It's been a while. She doesn't respond. You better respond to Puppy right now. Are you interested in lady beetles? I have an illustrated book that provides a look at the evolution of the insect family. Never mind. You sigh. So, Louise, are you here to finally apologize for ghosting me for the past 2 months? Look, I was busy. It was not done out of malice. I'm not an idiot, Louise. You were mad that I didn't want to be your own personal little secretary, and you decided to take it out on me by ignoring all my texts and calls. Believe whatever you want, Espoir. I have neither the time nor patience to correct every wrong notion a person's had about me. Maybe they're not notions, maybe it's just the truth. You know, it's not like you had a great reputation in the first place. Before we even met, I heard all these bad rumors about you. And I thought it was just because people were jealous. I mean, you're rich, you're conveniently attractive, and you've got charisma, in your own way. So I thought maybe you were misunderstood. Maybe people just didn't like seeing a successful woman and wanted to put you down. But now that I do know you, I can say this for sure. You're just objectively a terrible person. The only reason you ever keep people around is because they still have something of value to offer you. As soon as they outlive their use, you toss them aside. I'm sensing some bitterness here. Louise doesn't even bat an eye at your accusation. Espoir, everything in this world is transactional. You give something in the form of time, labor, or money, and you receive something of similar value in return. Friendships are transactional. Love is transactional. Even families are transactional. It's not uncommon to see fights break out amongst relatives over financial reasons. If something or someone loses its value, it gets thrown away. That's just how the world works. As long as someone has the talent or can provide value to my life in any way, I'm more than willing and happy to compensate them for their time and effort. And I have. I've always been fair in upholding my end of a bargain. I think the reason you're so upset with my lack of communication is because you're mistaken about our relationship with one another. I'm not your friend, or your companion, or your partner, or your lover. I'm just here to do business, so don't go growing any personal attachments to me, because I won't for you. Glad we're on the same page then. Maybe I never want to see you again. An air of tension stagnates between the two of you. Finally, Louise sighs. Goodness, I don't know why I'm still here. Normally I'd have left by the first insult and plotted your downfall by the second. How generous. So why haven't you? I don't know. I've been asking myself the same question as of late. Perhaps it's pity. No, it's more like sympathy. What happened to not developing any personal attachments? Perhaps it's because it's one of the few times I can relate with someone else. I know about your mother's condition. That catches you off guard. Why the heck are you digging around through my life? Just hear me out, Espoir. I'm no stranger to the grief you're experiencing right now. I've lost my ma and ba when I was 17. Losing one's parents, it's not a pain I would wish upon anyone else, and I mean that. She seems genuine. There's a hint of profound bitter sadness behind her hardened gaze. You never liked Louise, but you do to some degree respect her. Despite her questionable methods, she's always been capable and firm, a woman who, much like you, stubbornly refuses to show even a moment of weakness to others. You've always viewed her as this unshakable pillar, not to be looked down upon or pitied. But right now, she doesn't look like a towering figure of steel will and unshaken resolve. You look at her, and all you see is a vulnerable young girl. You want to talk about it? Louise Lu is the last person you expected to find solace in, and yet, as she sits before you, you feel an odd sense of connection with her. A mutual understanding, forged through a mutual pain. What happened? I don't know the full story. The police only ever figured out bits and pieces based on circumstantial evidence from the crash. It happened 6 years ago, on my birthday. My brother insisted that we all go celebrate at a family villa. The trip would take a few hours by car, and we would have to cross a mountain to get there. Obviously, I didn't want to go. I wanted to spend my birthday with my friends. But Lu Ren was the family's beloved baby boy, so naturally Ma and Ba listened to him. The morning of our departure, I came down with a particularly nasty fever. Our physician said I would need to rest in bed for at least a few days. I was quite pleased with this turn of events. But Lu Ren got upset. He would have me go, even despite me being sick. Luckily, my parents had a sliver of sensibility left. They had me remain at home while they left for the trip themselves. Wait, they're going out on a trip on her birthday? While she sits at home and is sick? She goes quiet. The next part is difficult for her to share. The rest is, like I said, bits and pieces. I don't know the full truth. I don't know if I ever will. Police found the wreckage. They think they must have been rounding a bend when a deer or some large animal jumped in front of the vehicle. The driver ended up veering them all off a cliff, straight into the woods below. Search and rescue combed the area for weeks. They found the car, but never the bodies, not the driver, nor my family. But on the 13th day of their search, something finally came up. My little brother. They found him wandering around the wreckage in a daze. No clue how they missed him before. He was immediately sent to the hospital, where he was questioned by authorities. And would you believe it, he couldn't remember a thing. The doctors say it's retrograde amnesia, brought on by some form of trauma. You don't sound convinced, because I'm not. I find it hard to believe that a 14-year-old boy could survive on his own out there for 2 whole weeks, all while somehow managing to slip under SAR's radar. 2 weeks! And for 3 bodies to just disappear? Even wild animals leave tracks behind when they bury their meals. The trip was his idea. He insisted I come. My fever must have thrown a wrench in his plans. Oh. Is your little brother suspicious? It must have been premeditated. He must have had outside help. He's colluding with the deers. But he wouldn't do that, would he? He's your brother. Not by blood. That's news to you. He's adopted? No. You're adopted? She looks irritated at your line of questioning. Yes. My parents couldn't conceive, so they adopted me. But it turns out all they needed to do was to try a little harder, because 3 years later they pop out the baby boy they've always wanted. You might have accidentally poked at an old wound. Aww. As much as I want to show sympathy, I really want to make a snide remark. No, sympathy. She came here and she's trying to connect. Louise, Stop. I already know where this is going. I didn't share because I wanted to be pitied. She sighs, brushing off her dress. Lucky me, right? Adopted by a wealthy family. That's quite literally the dream for most people. Hey, any rich people want to adopt a 37-year-old? It's not that simple. My days of luxury are short-lived. Soon my brother will turn 20, and when he does, he'll have full control over the family and its finances. I'll be entirely at his mercy. What? You 2 are siblings. Shouldn't you both be receiving something? The Lus are old money. They have customs and traditions deeply rooted in patriarchal lineage that spans centuries. For my brother, that means he's immediately first in line to become the family head, to inherit everything that otherwise would have been mine. As for me, I'm going to be married off to whichever family will best secure my brother's position within high society, auctioned off like cattle. I feel sympathy for this cold-as-ice woman. And I highly doubt a boy who killed his own parents and meticulously removed all evidence of his crime has any room left in his heart to hear out the woes of his dear adoptive sister. Ooh. Cowabummer. Ow! Louise gives your shin a swift kick with her heels. It is a bummer. Which brings me to the subject matter at hand. I need you to do a favor for me regarding my baby brother, and I will reward you for your efforts. You blink once, then twice. What are you cooking? Ah, that's why she sought you out today. She needs a favor. Fine, what you got? I knew it. It's never that simple with you, is it? Everything has to be transactional. There's always a catch. You sigh, too tired to even let anger take over. Fine, I'll humor you. What deal do you want to strike this time? I can get your mom a heart transplant. No wait list necessary. No long procedures. Everything paid for and taken care of, with the best cardiothoracic surgeons money can buy. I'll do it. No, I'll do it. I'll do it. What is it? I'll do it. And what do you want in return? I'll do it. Doesn't matter what it is, I'll do it. Sorry, I'll do it. What is it? Louise, I'll do it. What is it? Louise smiles. I'd like you to find evidence of foul play regarding my brother's involvement in my parents' deaths. Like I said, Lou Ren will be turning 20 soon. He'll have a Guan Li ceremony to celebrate his coming of age, and then he will officially become the head of the family. I can't have that happening. I've already lost my parents to that monster. I refuse to lose their legacy as well. Yeah, I just noticed. I think she's wearing her mother's necklace. Aw. I'll need something big, something that'll permanently hinder his claim to the inheritance, while also helping me garner the support of our relatives and other family friends. Your head feels like it's about to burst. I'll do it. I'll do it. You saved my mom, I'll do it. But how am I supposed to find any evidence? This happened 6 years ago. I'll be setting you up on a blind date with him. You and Puppy both give her a weird look. She rolls her eyes in response. Of course, this is a date in name only. What I really want from you is to extract information out of him pertaining to my parents' case. If you succeed in bringing me back something useful that I can actually use, I'll have my people on standby begin the transplant operation on your mother. And if I don't, then the deal's off. This doesn't seem safe. What makes you so sure your brother will agree to this date, especially one that you set up for him? He will. These types of arranged meetings aren't uncommon for those within our circle. And since my network is larger than Lou Ren's, I've been tasked with appointing him blind dates in order to find a suitable marriage partner. I've been setting him up with these dates for years now. I know his type now, and I've realized he has a tendency to slip up when he has something he wants placed in front of him. And I have confidence he'll slip. He's got a vicarious personality that can only be satiated by someone with a strong will, someone such as yourself. Ah, I like the way you think, Louise. So, play along, wind him up, lure him in with false promises. And gather proof, any proof. If you can't find any, make it yourself, whatever it is that gets the job done. She tosses a folder onto the table. Here's information that my investigators have collected on him over the years. The photograph itself is outdated, but I recommend you read it over. She points towards one section. His habits, his hobbies, his likes and interests. He's a very self-indulgent individual. He spends his time either pursuing the arts or enjoying fine dining. His mansion has a subsection dedicated towards the things he's collected over the years. She points towards another paragraph. His financial and travel records, purchasing history, and contacts. Wow, she is thorough. He often takes trips to isolated places in the mountains. I went through great lengths to acquire it. He's a private person who doesn't enjoy showing his face in public since the accident. This seems extreme. Huh, does it? Everyone says I'm just being paranoid, that he's simply self-conscious over his disfigurement. And that's why he's kept to himself since. But I know otherwise. and I know whatever it is he's been hiding won't be so for long. I will reveal the truth, and I will get my revenge for everything he's done to me in the past. She gets up from her seat, ready to leave. You hastily run after her. Wait, Louise, this is all a lot to take in. I mean, I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You're gonna save my mom, I'm gonna do it. And I don't know if I'll even accept this deal. It's just... She ignores you, instead continuing her walk towards the door, where a man is already holding the door open for her, an umbrella in hand. When you make eye contact with her, you can tell that she already knows you won't be refusing this job. You only have one mother, Espoir, and no amount of money can bring the dead back. If there is anything you need to prepare in advance, contact me. I will provide it for you. And you promise that my mom will receive the proper treatment as soon as I come back with your information? I swear it. So, hard work. I want payback for the Wang Ba Dan responsible for my parents' empty graves. Oh, the graves are empty. And that's the end of the demo. Woo! Make sure to check out their Discord, Patreon, and socials for updates and announcements. There's not a lot I can do differently since I think this demo has just the same end, but what are these other drinks? What's Pragma's Tenacity? You glance at the menu. Ooh. It's an amber-colored bourbon drink garnished with an orange slice. Ooh. I'll take Pragma's Tenacity. Interesting choice. That's Finnegan's favorite. The sudden mention of Finn's name nearly has you jumping out of your seat. Out of habit, you quickly scour your surroundings to make sure he's not in the vicinity. Buddy, you can't just name-drop my ex like that. Why not? He's my coworker. He's got a shift here every Monday and Wednesday. You'd nearly forgotten. Oh, right. The bartender seems mildly amused at your reaction. Is that why I never see you around on those days? Who knows? Maybe I should get him to work here full-time. Very funny. Tomorrow, after you're done with classes, are you free? What happens if I tease him? Yeah, why? You asking me out on a date? Huh? It can be, whatever you want it to be. I'm happy as long as we get to hang out. Oh. What are your preferences anyway? Tease him. Your preferences, pups. Sweet? Vanilla? Something a little more feisty? You mean like fizzy or spicy? Looks like he needs a little bit more pushing before things get through that surprisingly thick skull of his. You trace your finger on the edge of his glass, picking up tiny crystals of sugar before popping it into your mouth. Sure. Spicy. He looks confused for a moment before gears start working overtime in his head. And then his mouth parts into a small O. Looks like he's finally caught on. Are we talking about drinks? I don't know. Are we? Looks like his poor brain is fried. You decide to let him off easy, for now. He seems adorable to tease. You pick up your own glass, admiring the intricate work that went behind layering the liquids inside. Then, tentatively, you take a sip. As much as you'd hate to admit it, Finn has good taste. The bourbon slides down smoothly, leaving a slightly fiery aftertaste. The heat from the alcohol feels nice, with hints of butterscotch and honey. Ooh. You sigh. What a dangerous drink. You could easily get drunk off of this. What if I don't get a sweet hug from Puppy and just thank him? You can feel your walls beginning to crumble, but you swallow the feeling down. You don't want to cry. Not in public. Not in front of him. With great effort and a few deep breaths, you manage to calm your emotions and give Puppy a smile. Thank you, pups. I really appreciate it. He nods sullenly. Puppy is sweet boy. I may go out on a date with Luren, but you are the sweetest puppy. Oh yeah, what if I don't take his pen? You gently push Puppy's hand back down. I can't take this, Pups. It's your special pin. But, really, Pups, you've done plenty for me already. Okay. Prolonged exposure to the cold will negatively affect your immune system, increasing your risk of catching a cold or flu virus. Tease him. Now that you mention it, my head does kind of hurt. I think I might be coming down with a fever. He freaks out immediately. Oh no, what should I do? Do you need anything? Medicine? Water? Here, take my sweater. He starts to wriggle out of his outer layer of clothing, but you quickly grab a hold of his arms, laughing. Whoa, Pups, not for free. You'll be giving it back though, right? Not what I meant, but it's fine. I was just joking around, I'm fine. He pulls his clothing back down, straightening out the little snail design on the front. You take notice of the gastropod's choice of eyewear. He's got little sunglasses on. Oh, it does. It makes sense. Most land snails are actually nocturnal and dislike bright sunlight. The relationship between continuous light conditions and behavior of the freshwater snail. In other words, shell yeah. Shell yeah. You sniffle, your nose runny. Yes, the combination of cold weather and wet fabric got to you in the end after all. Aww. What if I dry myself off myself? I got it. Not wanting to inconvenience him, you grab the towel yourself, hastily rubbing it against your head. You can feel your head drying off, but at the cost of a serious case of entanglement. Trying to salvage the situation, you attempt to sift your fingers through the clumps of hair, to no avail. Yeah, that's going to be a pain to comb through later. It's okay. Nothing some conditioner won't fix. That's a good idea. Feeling a little more comfortable now that your head is dry, you give Puppy a big thumbs up. Honestly, a broken bone was a small price to pay for me to meet Espoir. I'd happily break more if it meant I could be friends with her again in another life. Aww, that's embarrassing. You can feel the blood rushing up to your cheeks. You've known Puppy for years, but his unfiltered forwardness and genuine expressions of fondness for you still sometimes catches you off guard. You try to say something nice back. That's cringe. Well, maybe next time. Oh yeah, what's Mania's infatuation? You glance at the menu. It's vodka, stained crimson by the raspberries and black cherries floating at the top. You've never seen this drink before. Is this a new menu item? CO2 follows your gaze. Mania's infatuation? We've just added it recently. I can't say I'd recommend it though. We've already gotten multiple complaints about the taste. Maybe you're losing your touch, old bot. Or maybe it's just a crappy drink. The idea of ingesting God's awful vodka has your interest piqued. I love crappy drinks. Give me one. It's your funeral. Your face sours up. CO2 was right. This does taste like crap. The vodka itself is flavorless, instead relying on the black cherries and raspberries sprinkled in it for added taste. Yeah, I don't like either of those. I don't like any of those. Even still, it does nothing to mask the ill sensation that comes with it. You feel like throwing up. Oh yeah, what's the snide remark I would make to her after she shared her story? So that's the reason behind that terrible personality of yours? Mommy and Daddy didn't love you enough? Ooh. Huh. I knew I liked you for a reason. Shell no. This doesn't seem like a very shell yeah situation. I don't know what that means, and I don't even want to waste any of my brain cells trying to figure it out. Oh yeah, what if I get upset when she asks for a favor? Huh. I thought it was out of character for you to even speak to me first, much less show any sympathy for my dying mom. You can feel your anger bubbling over as you rise from your seat, glaring down at Louise. I can't believe I actually sat there and listened to you butter me up with your sob story, all so that you could string me around like another one of your little puppets. You're the worst, Louise Lu. Puppy rests his hand on your shoulder, soothing over your emotions. Let's just leave, Espoir. Don't let her get to you. You might want to hear the rest of what I have to say before you go. I'd hate for you to look back on this day with regret. You glare at her from your seat, but you don't move. Wonderful. I can get your mom a heart transplant. I'll still do it! Well, that was the demo of There's Something Wrong with My Blind Date, and I think there is going to be something very wrong with my blind date. There will be a link in the description to this developer so that you can follow them for more development. The story already seems very, very interesting, and I can't wait to see what is going to happen. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself. Have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.